Welcome.
Welcome
to the celebrated nightly news of Calaveras County.
Mm-hmm.
Now tonight's kind of a mixed bag. We have, normally we don't have to talk about real heavy news or crime or, mostly it's natural disasters when we have to do heavy stuff, which is bad, but in some ways that's a little different than deliberate willful acts. So, But I guess we'll start off with the first one on county government news.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot going on.
And the top story tonight is that Calaveras County CAO Tom Mitchell is heading to Mendocino County. And this is the Mendocino County news release that from today, Ukiah, California. The Mendocino County Board of Supervisors has appointed Mr. Tom Mitchell, the new Mendocino County Chief Executive Officer, effective October 1st. And they are really excited to get Mr. Mitchell.
Yes,
and
he has a plethora of experience, actually.
Yes, he does. San Luis Obispo here. And we want to also say we wish Tom well. And thank you very much. He's always been very kind to the Pine Tree. And wish him well and onward and upward. And it's really kind of exciting. He gets to actually move to a bigger county.
Yes.
It's along that blue...
That beautiful
blue water thing,
line.
on the coast.
The California coast.
Yeah, and as wonderful as Calaveras County is, if you look at some of the challenges that they've had with fiscal constraints and stuff in county, you're going, okay, Calaveras, or should we go to the coast?
Oh, yes.
No, but I want to say congratulations to Tom. Congratulations on the new job, and it's been an honor getting to know you, and it'll be a lot of fun. And a lot of fun. Should be a lot of big, new challenges for him.
Yes, and, definitely different challenges.
Yeah,
and I'm sure he's up for the task.
I'm sure he is.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that we always admired about Tom and his tenure here is a big picture guy. He gets it. He gets where the county needs to go in some ways, and I think that's it's a neat thing. But congratulations, Tom, on the new position, and you will be missed.
Yes, definitely.
Also, on to is the other news. All right, and there is a 29-year-old Wallace man was believed murdered by a San Andreas resident. We're going to go over to a couple of releases, and this is from the Tuolumne County Sheriff's Office, because they are happening over there. So, earlier this afternoon, and this is from Lieutenant Dan Bressler from the Tuolumne County Sheriff's Office. Earlier this afternoon, cadaver dogs led detectives to the concealed body as yet unidentified male, but they believe it was a Wallace resident.
Yes.
In the general vicinity where the truck described was found, basically, there's this area known as like Murderer's Gulch back from the 1800s that off of Deer Creek and off of Ward's Ferry Road over in Tuolumne County. So the body was concealed, and also the truck was pushed off. This appears to be down the embankment as well. And this will go back to the main release from yesterday. Just see here the details on this, and you may have seen this in some other media outlets as well. Yesterday, detectives working on this case had the involved vehicle pulled from the canyon known as Murderer's Gulch. Isn't that really ironic? It is a red white Ford Ranger pickup registered to Christina Flaherty from San Andreas. The vehicle has been in possession of John Flaherty prior to the incident in question, and John Flaherty is presumed to be the body that they are recovering. Yesterday afternoon, detectives arrested David Stanton and his sister Shawana Stanton. And she's been charged with assisting the suspect after the initial crimes. It sounds like she helped conceal.
Accessory after the fact.
Yeah, and David Stanton, I believe, is in Tuolumne County Jail on a $1 million bond. So I guess that's it. That's the hard, tough news.
Tough news.
And those unfortunately affect Calaveras County residents. Both the victim and also the alleged perpetrator. I guess if there was a good thing that they didn't do it in the county.
Oh, yes, that's a good thing. It frees up our sheriff's department to do other things.
I don't mean to make light of it in any way, but that is just, yeah. And so...
It is what it is.
It is what it is. So that happened in Murderer's Gulch in Tuolumne County. And it's
interesting how these historical names sort of carry through to the modern day.
Oh, it really is. And, even our thoughts are with the families, because even though, this wasn't a natural act at all. I mean, I can only imagine the grief and the angst that goes along with something a violent one. And
exactly.
Okay.
That's our hard news.
That's the hard news, but you had all the fun, exciting. Sarah got to spend
the Board
of Supervisors.
The vignettes of the Board of Supervisors.
Yes.
And you know what the top story from the Board of Supervisors is? They got a letter of support.
Very
in their
nice.
correspondence packet, which Supervisor Russ Thomas pointed out at the very beginning of the meeting that they got a positive letter of support from one of our constituents.
Was this a tongue-in-cheek thing?
No, they actually received a letter praising them.
I know, but did he present it in a tongue-in-cheek manner?
He presented it and said, wow, look at this letter of support. So I thought that would be an appropriate lead story for our Board of Supervisors. Also, what happened today, actually, like I said, there were a few little vignettes that took place, and Behavioral Health had a resolution that the Board of Supervisors supported that Calaveras County would, for the month of September, participate in Recovery Happens Month, saving lives and saving money, and that's recognizing addiction, people who are suffering from addiction and the programs that support them here in the county. And there was a packed boardroom with people who have either been through the program or actually were related to people that are in addiction and coming out. And it was actually really very good to see that. Didn't
they do that last year as well?
They did that last year as well.
I attended that one. It was touching. It was a very...
And in fact, on, let's see, September, I don't have a date here, but in Sacramento, Calaveras County will be on the western side of the state capitol with 5,000 other people at a rally for this particular program.
Oh, very nice.
Which is kind of a cool thing. And I just want to say, before I get to other Board of Supervisors news, in conjunction with this particular month-long celebration, Monday, September 17th, there will be an open house at the Behavioral Health from 12 p.m. to 2, and people can go there and find out what substance abuse programs there are for recovery in the county, and sort of take a tour and find out, what these people do, which is actually sort of a very cool thing, because they work really hard, and there's a lot of people who benefit from the program. And also on a sort of a related note, Behavioral Health Director spoke before Rita Downs spoke before the board, and she said there's actually a very interesting art exhibit going to start September 10th from 4:30 to 6:30 at the Arts Council Gallery in San Andreas. And what it is, it's kids from the youth treatment program with behavioral health and probation, and the artwork that they've done.
Oh.
And so
as part of
their program. And I thought that was a very cool thing. So, kudos to the people who actually work in behavioral health and help these people recover from their addictions and help their families and help them get them back on track. They're certainly providing a great service to the community. And also, this is sort of an interesting one. Board of Supervisors allowed Community Development Director to talk to U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services about the possibility of starting a habitat conservation plan in the county.
Now, you were mentioning is this part of a requirement that the county has to have this type of
It
a
is
program
not-
in place for some other reason for funding, or is there?
Well, what it will allow is mitigation credits to come to the county. The state has a statewide mitigation credit program. So for endangered species or habitat protection, developers can say, I'll use these credits and pay another county for them to have habitat conservation, but then the habitat is developed over in Calaveras County,
Okay.
and we don't have a process in place to actually accept those funds or allow the developers, unless the developers do it voluntarily, allow the developers to say, let's take part of this development and sort of build on the habitat, but
Okay.
they'll take another part of the county and develop a habitat conservation. So this actually, it's the first step in what could be a very long very long process, I should say, for habitat conservation plan in the county.
In the county.
And what was interesting was John Buckley from CSERC actually spoke before the board, and he said that instead of having a habitat conservation plan, apparently in Tuolumne County, they have included certain policies in their general plan to take care of habitat and wildlife species issues.
Uh-huh.
So there's a lot of different aspects to this, but this actually just allows the community development director to talk to U.S. Fish and Wildlife about the fact that there's issues going on in the western part of the county for species protection, and what could possibly happen as far as habitat conservation plan, and also talk to them possibly about them saying to us, this is what you need to do for habitat conservation. So there's another little wrinkle in it. So that's sort of an interesting little thing to watch as time goes on. Also, the board approved Calaveras Unified School District to sell their bonds that were approved by voters last November. $11,500,000 for classrooms, computer technology, expanding libraries, possibly a new theater, and that was approved today as well. And also road striping.
Road striping.
Road striping was approved.
That's a.
Which is
will you
very,
say better now knowing the road striping was approved?
I will. This is what always is interesting to me, though. Public Works takes care of 800 miles of roads in the county, and today it was approved for them, if I can find that little front page, 120 total roads to be striped.
Wow.
292.46 miles to be striped was approved today at a cost of $190,992.46.
That sounds pretty cheap for that.
It does. It is. They're actually, it's a piggyback
isn't that,
resolution. It's contracting out, but
that sounds pretty efficient, actually.
It's very efficient.
And that's.
Our outgoing public works director is very efficient.
Yes. Now, was he in attendance today?
He was in attendance
today.
Yes, yes.
I guess one of and going back to, we know we've had emails, and maybe some of your opinions is, was the fire on Saturday arson? The definitive answer is we'll probably have to wait till tomorrow to know. It is leaning, and this may change, but from the stuff that we've been able to glean, that it's leaning towards not. That it may have been,
it may have
we may have inferred stuff wrong, so we may be incorrect as of tomorrow, but that would be our guess as of now. But also the official report will be out tomorrow. From last we heard. And also one of the things is, if you go have access to our site, this is a beautiful little banner. I don't know if you noticed it on the way up the hill. Did you see it on the way up the hill?
I did not see it on the way up the hill.
Now, if you're coming up Highway 4, at CP Financial, across the whole front, there's a huge banner that says, "Thanks, Firefighters." Now, this banner was done by the children's Sunday school class at Chapel in the Pines.
Oh, okay.
So they did that to thank the firefighters for their efforts last weekend.
Yes.
So you'll have to wait till we'll try to know tomorrow as soon as we can on the cause, the official cause of the fire.
Yes.
But as it looks right now, we don't know.
We don't
whether
know.
it was officially arson or not.
And they haven't released the sheriff's logs yet either, have they?
Yes, they have.
Did they?
And I
Okay.
apologize for that, as they were there. I wasn't looking in the right place
Oh,
for the arrest.
oh.
So, as I spoke last night, the arrest logs were there, and I was just too inept to find them. So,
Oh, okay.
yes.
All right.
There we
well,
go.
You know, better to admit it than not.
Maybe.
You know, the sheriff was like, "What's he talking
Yeah,
about?
what's he talking about? This guy's a moron." No.
What's
Anyway, and also from the COG, they're going to have the Arnold Rural Livable Community-Based Mobility Plan workshop tomorrow night at 6:30 at the Independence Hall in White Pine. So we'll probably finish up the news and run over there and
do more news.
Feel better about our mobility.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Feel really good about our mobility. 6:30 to 8 p.m. tomorrow night.
And did you have? I didn't want to interrupt you if you're going on to your next piece. Okay.
No,
All
no,
right.
no.
Also, last night we had the chance to drop in on the Scenic Byway committee
That's
as
right,
they're getting ready to make their their plans for the Scenic Byway celebration that is upcoming on September 15th. And this is going to be a fun event. It's going to start in Markleyville, go all the way to Arnold, or start in Arnold and go to Markleyville. Depends on, which way you would like to traverse the Scenic Byway.
Oh, wow.
And there's a little more information on our site, thepinetree.net, if you'd like to see what's going to happen at each one of the venues. They're going to have at Highway 49 at Serafina's Italian Kitchen.
That's really good food there.
Yeah. They're going to have, that's going to be kind of the initial start in Arnold. And also the Calaveras Big Trees State Park, they're going to have a booth there. The Dorrington Hotel is going to have a booth. The Camp Connell General Store will have a booth. Live music at the Dorrington Hotel as well. Bear Valley Village they're going to have live music up in Bear Valley. Frisbee golf tournament, barbecue lunch. And also going to be live music at Lake Alpine. There's basically going to be live music everywhere. And also live music at Hermit Valley from Bill Wells and Shiraz with Ron Shaner and Aaron Ross. And
that should be nice,
and over in
actually.
Alpine County, they're going to have live music at every single venue.
stop.
So at Alpine County Museum in Markleyville, they're going to have music provided by the Alpine Trio. So it should be
a very
truly
nice scenic celebration.
celebration.
Because those are all scenic stops.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very
So there we
nice.
go.
Very nice.
So.
And also, if you have trouble with star thistle, segueing into something completely different. The Calaveras County Department of Agriculture is offering a cost-sharing program to private landowners for smooth distaff and yellow star thistle control. And they received $9,500 from the California Department of Food and Agriculture to provide rebates of up to 25% of the chemical costs to private landowners, which is kind of a cool thing. These funds are available from November 1st, 2007 to April 30th, 2008, and some of the stipulations for applications for funds that will be meet the criteria are private land adjacent to the Stanislaus National Forest, any private property infested with smooth distaff thistle, all private land infested with yellow star thistle in major corridors leading up to the Stanislaus National Forest, and all others who control yellow star thistle on private land. In other words, anybody who controls exactly yellow star thistle. And you can contact the Calaveras County Department of Agriculture at 754-6504 extension 3 if you want to find out more information.
I participated in a thistle eradication program started when I was 6 years old.
Oh, really?
I did.
Did you go out and just pull them?
No, it was a thistle eradication program that was on a farm down in the valley. And I was paid a penny a thistle.
A penny a thistle?
That was the...
How did you eradicate the star thistle?
With a hoe.
Oh,
yes, with a hoe.
It wasn't your hand, it was a hoe. Okay.
Yes, it was... it's a thistle. It has that bristly stuff.
I thought maybe you had a glove on.
No. I eradicated thistle I was part of a thistle
you probably
eradication
left the
program.
roots in there. Did
If
you
I
get
dug,
the roots
I
out?
dug deep most of the time.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, right.
But
So
I
you did
probably
eradicate
was
the
a
thistle.
few instances where the root structure did remain intact after eradication.
And bread.
When I was 6, yes. But
How much did you make?
I think I made $10.
Wow.
We had
you got
we had
lots
80
of
acres,
circles.
and there was a lot of irrigation ditches that needed thistle eradication.
And there you were.
Probably not quite as sophisticated as the.
And it didn't come from government money
There
either,
was
did
no
it?
grant money. It was basically,
There you go, kid.
yeah.
That's basically
It was
what it
like,
was.
okay, you want to earn your allowance this week? Well, there you go.
There it is.
You are now the proud participant of
Well,
a.
$10 was a lot of money when you were 6.
Yeah, I mean, that was
When you
what,
think
50
about it.
years ago?
Yeah,
It was just,
absolutely.
that was back in the dark ages.
Okay. So do you have anything else over there?
Let's see here. Do I have anything else? Boy, is that a loaded question. No, just
we
kidding.
don't.
Just kidding.
We don't go there.
No, it also one little change we've done on the architecture of the site is we've had some requests for this. Is we're going to make some changes on organization of stuff so it's easier for people to find information. You now see a link right under our news or homepage link over here on our menu that goes to fire reports. And this is where you'll find most of our fire coverage that we've had quite a few interests because people want to know where they can find it. Because kind of interesting thing is
They want to find it quick.
yeah, but also I think from the pictures and stuff of this last fire, especially the slideshow that Eric Pahovich sent us, there's some really spectacular photos in those. And some of those individual photos, we were looking at the logs, some of the individual photos have been viewed 500 or 600 times.
Really?
Yeah, some of the
Very
individual
nice.
photos. So that's, if you're looking for coverage of recent fire stuff, and for example, because lots of times things will go off our site fairly quickly on a busy news day.
Yes.
Things will drop
They will
down. You're
roll
like,
off.
where were they? So if you want to look at coverage on fires, it will be under the Fire Reports button
Okay.
on the left-hand side. Isn't that? That's
Always adding to the site. Thepinetree.net.
that's
those of you who
the
missed
hope,
it.
at least. We
Yes.
keep adding to it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And state news. Michael,
And I'll be quiet for a while because I've been a mic hog.
No, that's
again.
okay.
Okay.
You can
All right.
you can mic the hog or hog the mic, or whatever you want to call it. Interesting headlines from the state today. Number of Americans without health insurance climbs. This is from the LA Times. The number of Americans without health insurance rose last year from 44.8 million, or 15.3% of the population, to 47 million, or 15.8%, the Census Bureau reported today. So this is interesting. People are either electing not to get health insurance,
Right.
or they've lost their jobs and they don't have health insurance anymore. Another one from the Sacramento Bee, disagreements aired over plan to clear-cut levees. And deep disagreements continue to fracture a federal policy that has that could cause all trees to be clear-cut from Sacramento area levees, as is evidenced by conflicting presentations at a conference on the issue underway in Sacramento on Tuesday.
And kind of another little local note on a business note is we had the pleasure of attending a couple business ribbon cuttings today from the
Yes,
Chamber of
very
Commerce.
nice.
And Murphy's Property Professionals. They have opened a new real estate office in downtown in Murphy's, right there by Alchemy. And they fed us a wonderful lunch. It was lunch. And then after that, we went over to Sweet Pea's Children's Boutique. And that's at 88 Highway 4, next to the pharmacy there. And it was we had the pleasure, our hosts were Diane and Betty at Murphy's Property Professionals, and Sarah at the Consignment Boutique.
Very nice.
And they also have maternity clothes. One of the only
do
places
they?
in the county
that
is she has maternity clothes. Not that I,
Need
well,
it.
I may look it, but I'm not currently
Maternity,
with child.
well, or maternity imposed or inclined. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Inclined. Yes.
So go by and visit them because we want to encourage businesses in the area. It's nice. This is in the last week. We've had 3 or 4 new ones open.
Yes, definitely.
So that shows progress. And go buy a house or buy clothes, even if you don't need them, just to support the new businesses.
They could buy my house.
There you go.
That's right. My house will be up for sale.
Or they could list it.
I already have someone listing.
Oh, you already have a listing agent. Okay.
That's Gold Country Realty.
Ah, okay.
The Glanvilles. Okay. I think we're ready for weather.
Are we ready for weather?
I think we are.
All right. Let's see. Should we do like a couple minutes of national news?
Okay.
Should we do
I
it?
wasn't quite finished with my state news, so I'm going to go back to my state.
Let's do that.
Because this is like home from home.
Okay.
Sutter sues Placer. Did you hear about this? Sutter County has gone to court to challenge neighboring Placer County's approval of more than 14,000 homes on the county line. That's from the Sacramento Bee. And that could have been Tuolumne sues Calaveras a couple years ago.
Yeah, could have been.
Could have been. Could have been.
And I guess the top of the national news on the political front is what they are calling on the Hill Brokeback Bathroom.
Oh, no. Oh, say it isn't so.
Yes, it's Brokeback Bathroom. And this is the Republican senator who has come out and proclaimed, "No, I am not gay." So, there we go.
Okay.
And also a touch on national news is CBS, since our ratings for the Calaveras Nightly News have consistently surpassed Miss Kirk.
Right.
Just kidding. They are sending her
the new nightly news host.
Yes, they are sending Katie Couric on a tour of Syria and Iraq in order to revive newscast. And there they go. So they
really,
yes.
From the morning news, morning show, entertainment show to Iraq within a year. For her?
Yes, well, that will prove her hard news skills, right?
Yeah, apparently. Okay.
All right. Arnold. Mostly clear, 66 degrees, a high of 93 for tomorrow, a low of 67 on Wednesday night. Thursday we'll have a high of 94. Oh, that's warm for Arnold, and a high of 91 on Friday.
Yes. Bear Valley weather, Wednesday, partly cloudy, a high of 83 degrees. Thursday, partly cloudy, a high of 82 degrees. And Friday, mostly sunny at 80 degrees.
And for Murphy's,
is it hot?
Hot. We have tomorrow a high of 103 in Murphy's tomorrow. And it will chill down to a relatively cool 99 degrees on Thursday, and then drop down to 94 on Friday.
Yes, and Angels Camp, another blistering Wednesday of 102 degrees. Thursday, 98 degrees, and Friday, mostly sunny at 92 degrees.
And for our viewer in Bangor, Maine, we'd like to thank you for stopping by. And we are looking at a high of 79 today, a low of 51, a high of 79 tomorrow, a high of 75 with a few showers on Thursday, and a high of 74 on Friday.
Wow.
So it looks like a good week to be in Bangor.
It does. It does. Weather for Copperopolis, Tuesday, 99 degrees. That's today. Wednesday, 103 degrees. Thursday, 100 degrees. And Friday, 97 degrees. So, what about Valley Springs? You may be able to bring that up faster than
No,
I
I was moving over to something else.
Okay.
This is kind of an interesting thing.
Springs.
Oh,
Okay,
go ahead there. No, one of the biggest sources of Hillary Clinton's campaign funding is a small house, a lime green bungalow in the flight path of San Francisco. It's the members of the Paw family. They've donated over $45,000. And in all the Paws have donated over $200,000
That amazing.
to Democratic in the 12. So
Wow.
There you go.
It's a very small house, apparently.
It is a small house, but it's big for
cash.
Big for cash.
Big for cash. Valley Springs, Tuesday 101 degrees, Wednesday 104 degrees, Thursday 102 degrees, and Friday a cool 95 degrees.
And we thank you for stopping by. We really do. And we will see you tomorrow night.
Yes.
And have a great night.
Good night.
Thank you.